Hello and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin Cash and my big picture targets for Bitcoin Cash. So we're going to start off here in the bigger time frame, then we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in the short term and how to play this market. So first and foremost, in the bigger time frame, you can see this massive accumulation pattern on Bitcoin Cash. Now, this is actually a lot like Litecoin back in the day. If you guys weren't here back in the early days of crypto, Litecoin did a very, very similar accumulation pattern as what we see here on Bitcoin Cash. Now, also you can see that we have bullish divergence here in the big picture. As you can see, price made a lower low, but the MACD made a higher low, which is bullish divergence. So that's a really good sign here in the big picture that this is being accumulated by the big whales. You can also see a massive amount of volume across time. Well, this accumulation pattern is taking place, which is a really good sign for Bitcoin Cash. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Litecoin Bitcoin Cash comparison, because this is extremely powerful to understand. And with this, we can talk a little bit about my price targets in the bigger picture here for BCH. So let's go ahead and zoom out here, and then we're going to zoom in on Litecoin and take a look at this early day accumulation pattern for Litecoin. The fact of the matter is, both of these markets have really done the exact same accumulation cycle, the same human emotion playing out in the market over and over again. You can see Litecoin over here on the right and Bitcoin Cash over here on the left, and you can really see just how similar the psychology is currently here on Bitcoin Cash that we previously saw on Litecoin. Now, basically what this accumulation pattern means is the big whales are accumulating. The people that really are going to send this thing to the moon, they've been buying for a long time now, and they're continually buying over time. And that's what creates this perfect accumulation pattern. And yes, it does shake out a lot of retail investors and a lot of people that don't know what they're doing. But the bigger players know exactly what's happening, and they're just buying throughout this entire period, getting ready for something massive. Now, what we can see here from this fractal comparison is just how big the bull market that came on Litecoin after this huge crash and sideways accumulation. Once Litecoin really started to take off, the bull market was absolutely insane. I mean, just look at that, right? Just this huge pump right out past its old all-time high and up to a new all-time high here on Litecoin. And you can also see the same thing here with Bitcoin Cash in terms of this old all-time high over here. And what I do believe will happen is a breakout above that old all-time high. So now let's talk a little bit about targets. So when it comes to targets here for Bitcoin Cash, we got to zoom all the way out here on Litecoin and stretch the chart clear up to this all-time high that it formed here in 2017 to get an idea of just how high Bitcoin Cash can go when it breaks out of this accumulation pattern. So basically here with Bitcoin Cash, you can see Bitcoin Cash again over here on the left and Litecoin over here on the right. So what I've done here is I've compared these two cycles so that you can see just how bullish Bitcoin Cash really is. Now for Bitcoin Cash, I do believe we will get a breakout above this old all-time high, but not only do I believe we'll break above the old all-time high, but I also firmly believe we'll see a very vertical move. As Bitcoin Cash and cryptocurrencies are mass adopted by the general public, this is going to be the biggest bull market in crypto history. So with that being said, I personally believe Bitcoin Cash will first go up towards its old all-time high and break above that, which is around 4,200 per coin. Then it should start to head up towards 10,000 per coin. And then I personally believe it could reach upwards of $20,000 per coin before its next major bear market. Now, I do believe that a bear market will come at some point, whether it comes at 10K, 15K, or 20K. Nobody knows for sure what the exact top will be, but I do believe we will get a huge move up and a bear market coming afterwards. You can see over here what happened with Litecoin. If we go ahead and take away the replay button, you can see now this is what came after that pump on Litecoin. So I'm not saying that it's just going to go up forever, but I do believe that Bitcoin Cash over the next 3 to 5 years will go completely nuts and blow people away in this mass adoption cycle for crypto. So this is what you guys need to be looking at. This is what you need to be focused on. Don't worry about the short term. Don't worry about all the FUD and all the tariff stuff going on. Focus on the big picture. This is what's going to make you rich, and this is what's going to put money in your bank account and in your crypto wallets. So this is my personal big picture target for Bitcoin Cash. First 10K, then 20K. And I really believe we could go a lot higher than what people think. A lot of people are calling for like 3K or 2K or 5K, but very few people know what's happening here in the big picture and are seeing this market for what it is. So let's talk a little bit about the shorter time frame here with Bitcoin Cash. As you guys can see, we do have an ABC correction here. And because of this ABC correction, I believe we will bottom out sooner rather than later. And this is really a good opportunity to be picking up Bitcoin Cash in the short term because a lot of people are selling their coins. A lot of people are freaking out. And the best opportunity for picking up more crypto or stocks or really anything is to buy when other people are afraid. And right now, there's a lot of fear in the market. And this is a perfect opportunity to be picking up Bitcoin Cash here in the smaller time frames. You can also see with the Elliott wave count here that we do have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. Now, one of the reasons this correction was kind of big is because we do have an extended fifth wave right here. And anytime you get an extended fifth wave, you're going to get an extended correction. So the reason we really didn't bottom out right here and went for one more low is because of this extended fifth wave. Normally, in the smaller time frames with crypto, you get wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. But that wave 5 is not as big as what we see here with Bitcoin Cash. In the case of Bitcoin Cash, what we see, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, then this huge extended fifth wave. And when it's extended like that, you're going to get an extended correction, which is why we did have a pretty big pullback here from $716 all the way back down to $255. But now we do see potential bullish divergence forming on the MACD here on the daily with a lower low in price and a higher low forming on the MACD. So that's a really good buy signal. What we want to see here is some type of bottom structure off of these lows. And if we do see a little bit of a bottom structure form, that will really confirm this bullish divergence and could be the beginning of a nice reversal here on the smaller time frames. But again, you guys, don't focus on these smaller time frames. If you guys want to get rich in crypto, focus on what's happening in the big picture. We are headed into mass adoption. All of the big institutions know this, and crypto is set up for one of the biggest bull markets in human history. So the most important thing to focus on is the bigger picture, because that's where you're going to make all your money. That's what's going to keep you level-headed. When you're focused on these smaller time frames, it gets really easy to be fearful when you should be buying more coins. Also, if you guys don't know about the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, right now we are in a state of extreme fear. The last time that we were at these levels, Bitcoin was worth $16,000 per coin. Then it went all the way up to $100,000 per coin. And right now we're all the way back down into the state of extreme fear, which we haven't been for multiple years now. So this is a really, really good opportunity to be picking up crypto, all of your favorite cryptos, including Bitcoin Cash, in preparation for a big reversal, because whenever people are in a state of extreme fear, the opportunity for buying stuff at super undervalued prices is very high. The other thing I want you guys to see here with Bitcoin Cash is just how similar Bitcoin Cash looks currently to early day Bitcoin before Bitcoin became a household name and started really becoming something everybody knows about. This is exactly what Bitcoin Cash looks like currently. It's the same fractal as early day Bitcoin. You can see we have our ABC correction down, just like how Bitcoin had an ABC correction down here in 2014. Then we start to bottom out, right? Start to move up a little bit, but there's corrections along the way up, just like what we're seeing here with Bitcoin Cash. And what happened after this type of accumulation was really mind-blowing and made a lot of people super rich, including myself. This was extremely profitable here in 2017 when the crypto markets went completely vertical as a result of that ABC correction here on Bitcoin, and a lot of money came into the markets very quickly. And I do believe something similar could be coming for Bitcoin Cash in coming years. And I think that this year will be bullish. We just had to go through the fire and the flames before we really come out and rise like a phoenix from the ashes. So don't give up, you guys. Stay focused on the bigger picture. This is what's going to make you rich in these markets. Staying focused on the bigger picture is how you're going to be able to walk away from these markets with massive profits and be super glad that you invested in the crypto markets. Make sure that you apply for one-on-one coaching, link in the description box below, so that you guys can start learning how to do this and how to make money in these markets and really walk away from this market with profit. I know people get thrown around by the markets a lot, and when you're new to this, it can be really hard to know what to do with your money, and it can feel like you're just making money, then losing money, and you can't seem to have it stick. That is what one-on-one coaching is all about, to help you guys become consistently profitable in these markets and help you see the transformation you need to be able to make money consistently in crypto. So make sure you apply for one-on-one coaching, link in the description box below. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video on Bitcoin Cash. Stay focused on the bigger picture. We're going to make a lot of money in these markets, and stay true to your original analysis and your big picture view on all of your favorite coins. We are headed into mass adoption, so don't be afraid and plan for big profits in these markets. But yeah, thank you guys again. I love you. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.